regarding Drake and Kendrick Lamar. If you're ready to see how the rapper is still winning big, you could be ready to learn how his recent performance may have set the stage for his next big release. As all of this is going on, the courtside Karen of rap has managed to make his epic losing run worse than it has ever been. The new single from Drake, Which One, has just managed to fail even more than it was expected to. And this has grown into much more than a small problem. Now, pay attention. Today, this is a big one. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And now, in all honesty, Drake fans will be so loud, upset, and emotional about this that they will vent about their boy today. In fact, Kendrick Lamar's teaser for the next big thing in hip-hop and Drake's losses will offer the right side of the genre some significant victories. Be sure to leave that like so that Drake and his fans don't get into any awkward situations. Having said that, the song that the rap king and the man who set up a chase scene with Pinocchio released for this occasion is a complete failure. Listen out for Drake, then. Kendrick Lamar has had almost a whole year to release music and try to make something stick. But he is still getting employment, even though he has only been letting his GNX album speak for him on the charts and nothing else. After witnessing a string of failures, ranging from SSS for You to the Iceman single, it is now evident that Drake will eventually reflect on this phase of his career and acknowledge the extent of his mistakes. Due to Kendrick Lamar and the fact that he has never been more in control of hip-hop during this initial part of the GNX period, the Iceman has effectively destroyed whatever chance he may have had to advance his career. And not even a small action on his part has improved the situation. And now, the worst part of this for Drake, and the most peculiar thing for the Karen of rap, is that, despite all of these songs being released, Kendrick Lamar's victories are obviously going to get much bigger, and possibly very soon, because it appears that he won't simply return, perhaps at the end of this year, and release more music faster than we have waited for the majority of his career. However, Kendrick's plans will actually make a lot larger message than we could have ever imagined. Additionally, chains and whips with clips are similar to what we have seen. As for the losers in rap, Kendrick will be haunting their every step and giving them nightmares. Because of everything that Kendrick Lamar is doing at the moment, it seems certain that we won't just be hearing new music from him. Rather, he will be releasing more profound songs than before. Additionally, we know that King Kendrick's next chapter involves the group he entered the rap scene with, Black Hippie, in one way or another. Furthermore, Ab-Soul has been making references to anything happening with them, so we have been guessing about this for some time. After the run that Kendrick and SZA have had, we now have proof that Kendrick is simply taking things to a whole other level. So if you're Lubri, relax. It appears that she will be abandoning him for the last 2 legs of the Grand National Tour. Q, a schoolboy, is another member of his Top Dog Entertainment family that will be accompanying him. Furthermore, it is incredibly significant because this is bringing Q and Kendrick together on the Grand National Tour's last leg. Furthermore, it becomes evident that there is more going on here than just 2 pals and talented MCs performing together when it comes to Kendrick Lamar. From beginning this era with a song that he never released, and in which he name-dropped Q, Ab-Soul, and Drock, to all of the cryptic teasing and messaging that came before it was revealed that Schoolboy Q would be taking SI's place on this tour for the last run of the shows. Kendrick Lamar had been performing with a jacket that had specific cards on it. At that point, all of the major hands had doubled up in meaning, and each letter did represent a member of Black Hippie, with a standing for Ab-Soul, Q for Schoolboy Q, Drock for Drock, and K for Kendrick Lamar. Furthermore, given that Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q are now locking in and heading on the tour together, it is clear from this and the speculations that are already emerging what kind of storyteller and conceptualist he is. We've also noticed that he's been putting the rap game in ruins with each new stanza he releases. When you just put the pieces together, it does appear that Kendrick Lamar is preparing for a full-scale Black Hippie reunion. Whether they collaborate on a few tracks, an EP, or simply a general collaboration or a posy cut, I do believe that Kendrick Lamar will benefit greatly from this. Because after all, even if we look at how over the last several key Kendrick Lamar eras, from Untitled Unmastered after T-Pab to the Black Panther soundtrack, to even the melodic Blue with Baby Keem before Mr. Morale. We now know that at the time that all of his major blockbuster records were being released, Kendrick was always working closely on a secondary or companion project. Even though Schoolboy Q is a well-known rapper and one of the biggest acts of the past 10 years, and he is currently receiving stadium treatment, I firmly believe that whatever is going to happen between Q and the other Black Hippie members will be just that. I do believe that he will release something unexpected before the year is out that will have a hit or two to elevate him once more. Whether or not that's with Kendrick Lamar. However, based on the way the jacket is developing and all of the indications, I can tell with certainty that Kendrick Lamar and Black Hippie are planning something. So be ready for something amazing when he performs in stadiums with Schoolboy Q of all people. And now with this, Kendrick Lamar is walking the victory lap with the same men who have supported him for decades. For the pathetic old Stranger Things superfan El Rey, the rap game is on the opposite side. In my opinion, the Iceman and his Iceman won Central C after releasing Iceman Episode 2 and making a huge deal out of it. Naturally, this was all about the release of the mediocre piece of garbage. After the record came out, we all assumed it was mediocre. But its streaming figures were good, and it was predicted to debut at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. And really, if it had performed the same function as predicted, why did I miss it on the charts? It would have still risen to that position and missed the top spot. But it might have gone to 2 or 3. This is a Drake song from a time when he has never given his rollouts more thought or done more to establish and maintain a presence in the rap industry. This is very new for Drake because he has always taken the most lazy approach to both his music and how he drops it, which alone shows that he is trying and rushing to create something original. As it turns out, all of the preparation, Pinocchio costume designers, and auditions that went into creating this hideous masterpiece have been in vain. And once more, this song has fallen flat. And it's far worse than we could have ever imagined given the anticipated debut of this song. And in many respects, it's Drake's new rock bottom. He hasn't truly put into a single in perhaps 10, if not more, years, despite having done the greatest work. On the charts, the song will only reach number 18, which is significantly lower than what is predicted. Not only does he represent a huge drop-off, but it may even go lower. Currently, Luther is still performing quite well on this track, which is amusing. Well, we now know that Drake's significant decline in a week with no industry surprises or anything of the sort detracts from the fact that he just cannot perform Kendrick Lamar levels. Drake possesses an intangible that many talented but well-known musicians and media figures do generally these days. When their new songs or other works are out, people might listen to them, and the statistics could result in inaccurate estimates like the one we saw here. Once more though, the only reason anyone is even paying attention to these things is to observe how far he has fallen throughout this period. And if you contrast this record and its predictions with anything in the current quick music scene, such as Luther, which has been on the charts for a long time, or many of those other significant Kendrick records, all things considered, despite the fact that these Drake songs and moments are meant to garner attention at the moment, they fall off quickly and provide no value, much like a subpar Marvel film would. And to take this comparison and effectively explain why these songs aren't working to the irate OVO individuals who believe there is a large plot and blame the industry, it's not. It's just like a poor movie. On opening weekend, everyone will attend since the well-known names will pique their attention. Again though, after those individuals who are so aware of everything that they will look it over, engage with it personally. They're not claiming it's good. They aren't urging friends to look it up. Additionally, they aren't even interacting with the content repeatedly. When it comes to Drake, this is really the apex of his career. And when you put attention above quality, this is what eventually occurs. Honestly though, it was even worse than what we witnessed with a song like What Did I Miss? If you listen to this song for even a little while, you'll notice that Drake is clearly aiming to cater to radio stations, streamers, clubs, and other similar venues. Simply put, you can tell that this song is an even odd thing. Since Drake would never have embarrassed himself in this way if there had never been a chart, it is extremely absurd for him to release a song solely to achieve #1 status, and for no other reason. This is really embarrassing, to be honest, and it demonstrates Drake's severe slide and true loss. I don't know if you understand this yet, but for all of the OVO fans out there, Drake is essentially a worthless musical entity without any numbers to support him. Without a calculator and numbers to measure his success and provide him with any kind of validation, there is truly no quality in the art. Furthermore, it is evident that the Drake period is finished when we simply observe this song tanking the way it has. Regardless of what they may say, people are avoiding the trap of receiving the same calming piece of music, cheering it to the top of the charts, and making it the norm for what other people in the industry should do. Furthermore, it is terrible if this is still the case, even as Drake tries to earn a record to reach to this point. Furthermore, I'm not sure how poorly the following song will fare on the charts because if the entire Iceman rollout is already this stagnant, things will only get worse from here. Right here. Additionally, when Drake fans attempt to pretend that this song, which is currently at number 18, is the same as Kendrick and the Clips' Chains and Whips, which is at number 42, keep in mind that it is not. And these folks really need to start thinking and becoming media literate in these discussions because at an era when chains and whips were used, a hardcore rapping cut with 3 MCs rapping their own style went to number 42 on the charts. The Kendrick Lamar impact is that, once more, the Clips don't pander or do anything off-brand since, even for Central City, it sounds like something he would never put his name on without a Drake appearance. Once more, though, their actions for the Clips are the most consistent with their brand. Kendrick is only contributing to making it the greatest moment imaginable. For Kendrick Lamar, this is the reason he is considered the king of hip-hop and the epitome of how to represent a movement. And really, if this is what's happening going forward, with Kendrick continuing to win and Drake becoming a less and less important figure in hip-hop every day, then rap has some bright futures ahead of it, particularly if Kendrick Lamar releases something soon. And that's certain. With all of this said, please let me know. Considering that Schoolboy Q is currently embarking on the Grand National Tour, what do you think about the possibility that Kendrick Lamar may release new music soon? In addition, do you think Drake's song has just reached a new low that is worse than we could have ever imagined? Now, I'm eager to hear your thoughts on everything. If you've seen the entire video, you know what to do now. Remember to subscribe and leave a like. I really benefit from it.